Congratulations. So where they come from? We did that ad campaign. So they came from the ad campaign. But yeah, I mean, you didn't have those many sales before we started, but I mean, you can prove that they came from the ad campaign. Basically, they start tap dancing and two-stepping,
Y'all, welcome back. It's a new episode, new season, new year. If you're watching this, you know it's going down. It's the best podcast on the planet. Why? Because I'm the best podcast host. If you know, it's the one, the only CVMK33. Y'all connect with me. Connect with your boy on the gram, CVMK. And of course, you know where the supplement line is, the wellness fitness brand, CVMK Global. On every platform, basically at CVMK Global. Just look for the bear. You look for the black bear, you'll find it. www.cmk.global.store. Look, we have an amazing one today. An amazing episode featuring an amazing rising, I don't know if to call him CEO, tech funder. I was looking at his bio and was trying to come up with the proper framework. So I'm going to just introduce him because he's doing some amazing things, the one and only Arias Webster Berry. But before we do that, I want to thank the fans. You guys have made this possible. I see the YouTube page growing. I see the social media links growing. I see all the hard work you guys are putting in, and I appreciate you staying tuned with me on YouTube at CVMK. You guys have just been amazing. So thank you to the fans. And in this new season, we bring you true heat. We'll be back with the one, the only Arias after this. Arias, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing amazing, actually. Living and loving life.
I love that. Living and loving life. That's the dream right there, brother. Look, I appreciate you. First of all, man, it's great to connect with you. I appreciate you reaching out. As a host, as whatever, as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, you try to vet, right? You try to see, who's coming on here. Because you can talk about anything with anybody, but you want to bring real value, to the audience, to the conversation. And, I was impressed, man. Looking at your profile and just seeing someone was just like, I was like, nah, I was like, somebody's scamming, man, because you're not an old guy. You've accomplished so much. So for them that don't know, man, just a quick background on who you are and what you've done.
Yeah, man. My name is Arias Webster Berry. I am a entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a trainer. I am the CEO of Ignite Funnels, which is a all-in-one CRM and business management platform, as well as WebsterBerry Marketing. WebsterBerry Marketing has been in existence for about 8 years. We have hundreds of clients all over the country, from very large multinational corporations to small mom and pop car lots and car salons. And my goal and my mission is just to help entrepreneurs generate more leads and turn those leads into dollars.
I like that. We all need more leads, man. I was about to say, man, can you get me out of Facebook jail? All right, now I'll block my
maybe able to talk. I know a guy who knows a guy, So
all right, hey, if you can do it, man, get me out. I need to get back to this ass, man. No, but man, look, it is amazing, man. I love to hear it. So I always start here, man. You could have done a billion different things. Why the struggle of entrepreneurship? Why the headache?
Man, it's what I've always wanted to do. Since I was a kid, man, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I grew up in the time of the maverick entrepreneur. Most of these guys are either dead or no longer in our good graces. But the Robert Kiyosaki's, the Donald Trumps, the Russell Simmons, the Diddy's, the Steve Jobs, all of these guys, they were a new breed of entrepreneur, right? They were these guys that didn't stand behind their brands. They stood in front of them, and, they kind of tugged their companies along with them, and they infused their personalities and all of their quirks into the brand, and it became a thing. And that was just something I had never seen. It was attractive to me, man, and I said I want to do that. And that was at a really early age. I want to say probably like 10, 11, maybe 9, 10, somewhere around there. Yeah. And little did I know, like you said, all the struggle, all the heartache, all the long nights and early mornings and the uphill battle. But, I've made it across the Rubicon, man. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So I think, man, you hit a lot of amazing points in that little piece, that segment. It is, or I'm not even saying it was, it is the era of maverick leadership. Good graces is a great word. Honestly, that was on point. I was like, yeah, because a lot of those names you mentioned right now, they got their own kind of woes. So
yeah, lots of problems.
But no, you're right. I mean, they were brands within a brand. They were visible, highly visible, some say to their own detriment, but nevertheless, it created this tidal wave of personality-driven metrics, right? And from this personality-driven kind of business model, other entities kind of sprung about. Something that happened for me, entrepreneurship, I think, came late for me. I always knew, I was like, yeah, I know I'm a leader, but I just didn't know what type, right? And I didn't know where specifically I could do that. Like, do I start a orange juice business? Like, I live in Chicago, right? My wife and I don't grow oranges, right? So that's not the picture, right? I'd have to partner with a farm and it would just be a headache. But what specifically, am I good at? And I think that's the first question for an entrepreneur. But it is the process of taking that thing, once you find out what you're good at, what you want to provide to the marketplace, and actually creating a model that generates revenue. So let's go here, man. I hear a bunch of people, I love podcasts and I love comedy. And if you hear sirens in the background, I live in Chicago. Keep it real. That's real Chicago sounds right there. That's not theatrics. But this is Instagram comedian called Devarian or Devari. I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name, but this man, like, he makes fun of like other podcasts, entrepreneurs, and be like, yeah, man, all you got to do is do this, do that for $1 million, So for you, how did you not fall into that trap where all I got to do is, buy, this book and then I'll bet $1 million in a week? Like, how did you stay focused during this process?
I mean, I got all the books, right? But I guess it wasn't about the end goal to me. It was something that I truly wanted to do. Right. I think a lot of people get into this entrepreneurship thing just looking for the trappings or looking for the lifestyle or the credibility or the accolades. They want to be the guy with the Ferrari and the girl, sitting courtside or, sipping a pina colada in Bora Bora. Right. Yeah. And that's possible. But there's a whole lot of things that come before. And the guy who does that, well, that's not the end of the rainbow. That is the rainbow, and for me, that's what I wanted. I wanted the process, right? I love building businesses. I love helping other entrepreneurs. So, I travel all the time. I go to, 3-4 countries a year, right? So I don't say, oh, I'm just going to move overseas and now I kick my feet up. And I think that was the thing. I've always wanted to do the thing, not just reap the rewards. And I think that a lot of other entrepreneurs, the reason why they don't find the success that they want is they're just looking for the trappings. They put on the mystique of the entrepreneur. They don't have it in them. They put it on. That you need, if you want to be successful in this thing, it needs to be in you, not on you.
Yeah. No, real talk. Let's go here for that in you, not on you. I think that's so true, because, and it's not just entrepreneurship. I think it's anything and everything from leadership to management to whatever. I think there is a fascination of whatever that is, that lifestyle, that epitome of once I get to this, all my problems go away, all my challenges go away. This is what I'm working for. Not understanding that the in doing is the work. Like that's the leadership aspect, because they don't truly love it. Like I wish there was a real conversation on, do you actually love it, or do you just want to, get a angel investor to give you $1 million and get the heck out of Dodge, right? Like,
yeah.
For me, my friend had a conversation. He was like, we've been growing on social media, man. And he hit me up. He's like, man, Cody, would you ever sell the brand? Like if Nike offered you $1 billion, would you do it? And I was like, heck no. I'm not saying I wouldn't think about it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it, right? Like, I'm human. I'm going to think about it. But
yeah,
the truth of the matter is, my wife and I created this out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched this thing. I watched a baby. I watched from seed to where it is now. And I would still call it an infant, a very, very infant, right? Like, I wouldn't say it's where it's going to be, right? But to be a part of that growth phase and the strategies that went in, like you said, behind it. I mean, to the books. I mean, I can't tell you how many books I've read, post-secondary school, books I'm reading now. You name an author, if it, comes on my Audible playlist, I'm at least check it out, right? Like I need to hear it. I need to see it. I need to feel it, because I know I don't know everything. And I know that what I don't know will hurt me. And I'm constantly trying to redefine and sharpen and focus and look at what I would say the intangibles that show up later on a spreadsheet. And something I've done the last 2 years is the intangible work. Like we could talk about, the systems, and I really want to listen to the CRM. I really want to see, I want to pick your brain on it. You say you created it. I think that's brilliant. I can't tell you how many CRMs I have interacted with, dealt with, sold, working for other companies. But the intangibles don't show up immediately on a spreadsheet, but what they do, I see it like this. They're great seeds that go into soils, and the people that see the trees are usually those that come after. They're like, oh, well, how did this? Well, it's because this was laid, this was done, this was sacrificed for. So I know we got to cut to a break, but I want to get into those intangibles for you, man. I want to talk about what do you think makes a good leader? And then I want to shift into, your business, navigating the landscape, because I would say I don't even know where we are, post disruptive, post whatever. When we come back, y'all, we're with Arias Webster Berry, the one, the only, on the CVMK show, because it is what it is.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
Y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store. I'm telling you, it goes down. You don't need those other brands. Scratch, Zoa, C4, Ghost. You don't need that trash. www.cvmkglobal.store. Matter of fact, just stay connected with us. Let a brother know you're feeling us, man, at CVMK Global on Fanbase, on Graham, on Snap, everywhere, man. CVMK Global. Don't be a square. Follow us today. Look what I got with it. Warrior Thirst. That wasn't even in the commercial. I'm just showing y'all what it's really about. www.cvmkglobal.store. Okay, intangibles, man. You said, and I quote, "This is something I always wanted to do. I wanted to do the process." So, I always say that things are inspired, right? A lot of it's upbringing, a combination of nature and nurture. Who helped instill these intangibles in you so that you could do this type of work?
To be honest, man, I don't actually know.
Wow.
Some people, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my brother, mentor. I just I tell the story, but my first business was a dog walking business. I was 10. I was walking home from school, heard a whole bunch of dogs barking, but noticed that I never saw any of them outside. It's and I remember watching a program and they said the dog should be, run and walk for like an hour. Yeah. And it just made all the sense in the world to me that I should go around and ask these people if I could walk the dogs for $5. It wasn't a long process. I didn't sit around trying to find a business or anything like that. I just saw a need and decided I was going to provide a service. So it's just something that I've always got naturally, man, and I always wanted to do. And since in around that time, like I said, these entrepreneurs were popping up. These entrepreneurs with huge personalities and amazing presence. And I was like, yeah, that's me. I want to do that. I think I can do that. And I've always had a tinkerer mindset. I've always had a problem solver's lens on everything. So it's just something that kind of went after that. I mean, my mom, she worked extremely hard. She worked 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs. And she was a single mom. So, I saw hey, I'm going to do twice as much as everyone. And that was just the norm, right? She didn't complain about it. She was tired all the time, but she didn't complain. She just kind of did it to make sure that I had enough. And, I don't know, man. I don't know if because my mom wasn't an entrepreneur and nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. So I think I just absorbed it, man, and just latched on to one thing and decided I was going to do it. But, very much like a kid who picks up a ball and just decides he wants to go to the league, Yeah. Very much like that. But my league is entrepreneurship.
You think it's more of a calling? Do you think that leaders are like some type of calling more than I like you said, nobody was there. You didn't have any within reach, I would say, examples of that type of dynamic appeal. And then you just did it.
I think leadership can be learned.
Okay.
However, I do believe that the truly great leaders, the truly great entrepreneurs, it is more of a calling, right? The mechanics of a good leader, there's a million books that have been written about it, right? You can practice that. You can learn how to listen and help those that follow you get what they need and grow and develop and succeed. But some people do have the natural gift to lead people. Some people do have the natural gift to identify a problem in a market and figure out a solution and get it to the market.
Fair enough. No, that's fair enough. Well, I want to go into, man, you've done something that very few have done, and there's layers to it. Anytime you start talking about a CRM, it can, depending on how robust, depending on the industry, there's a lot of great things about it, and sometimes there's a lot of fluff about it. I have worked and or sold and or competed against, I would just say I've worked with HubSpot, Salesforce, DOS application. What else? I feel like there's 2 or 3 that I'm missing for some smaller organizations. But in any facet, it's about creating a system where the business processes and aims can speak to the internal and external user, right? The customer and the rep that is handling it, so that we can maximize our efficiencies, outputs, deliverables, and increase revenue. That's basically the whole gist, right?
Indeed.
What, I mean, obviously you saw that there was a need for this, but how does your technology, how does your company differ in this space?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, man, there's a lot of great, CRMs. There's a lot of great technology out there, and there's new ones popping up every day.
Yes.
I think what makes us different is not only do we have the tech, we have the machine, but I have a huge team that helps to customize it, right? So we focus on not just, hey, let's get a whole bunch of new clients, but how do we get them to stick, right? How do we cut the burn rate when it comes to our clients, right? We're trying to, I don't want customers coming in the front just as quickly as they're going out the back. And the only way you're going to do that is if you can actually get them to adopt it and use it, and it's actually making an impact in their business. And I think that's where we kind of shine through. A baseline CRM collects contact information and keeps track of, communication. All right, whoop-de-doo, right? We have all of these different components, from drag and drop website builders and sales funnel builders and email marketing, text marketing, payment processing, invoicing. We've just instituted some AI. So there's conversational AI involved and opportunity tracking. And, there's an LMS, so a learning management system, if you have educational products that you want to sell or maybe some training information for your internal team. All that stuff's in there. We're building more stuff every single day. But all that stuff is it's just a box of tools, right? Until you get someone to take that tool out of the box, off of the shelf, and start putting it to work, it's just an expensive piece of junk. You know what I mean? And we focus on really getting an intimate knowledge of our clients' businesses and truly trying to be their technology partner. Like, I was talking to a client today, and they said, hey man, I want to see how I can get ManyChat to integrate with Ignite funnels. And I said, when did you start using ManyChat? Oh, today, man, I just signed up for the trial. I said, you do know that we already have the functionality for that. I didn't even tell you what functionality. I said, I know the platform, all of the functionality they have in their platform we have. I said, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to automate something? Yeah. I see these guys there. They'll make a reel and they'll say, comment a word below, and then they send a DM, and then something happens. I say, yeah, we have that. Really? Yeah. But that's the thing. If they don't know that it's there and they're not using it, who cares if it's amazing, right? Who cares if you have a Lamborghini if you never take it out of the garage, right? True. So that's what kind of makes us different. That's what makes us different. We focus on the service and trying to get people to actually implement and use the thing.
No, I like that. First of all, your team is here in the U.S. I think that is going to help. Because a lot of times, especially when you deal with technology partners, let's just be honest, when you call, it's not an American. Now, if you're cool with that, I mean, it's nothing wrong. It's just a lot of stuff is outsourced, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing, I think you hit on the head, most CRMs are not customer specific. And what ends up happening, it's like we build a tank, and it's like, oh, that's sick, I got a tank. You might not need a tank, but it built a tank. All right, I want to shoot lasers. Well, we don't have the technology for lasers, but we have the potential and future updates so that we can incorporate a laser, and it becomes more of a plug and play. And I think what hurts a lot of that is that like you said in your example, they don't know what you already have, because it's always, I don't know why customers don't know what they already possess with the company that if you're loyal to, you should know. But then the second thing is, because I guess marketing can only focus on one specific task or one specific iteration of something. Even if it can do 10, they always tell you just to make the one thing, right? So literally, I can sell the greatest cheeseburger in the world, but if somebody's like, I want bacon, I was like, well, the cheeseburger already comes with bacon. But if I say bacon, it's no longer a cheeseburger in the customer's mind, right? So it is daunting. So let's go here. And then I want to get into the marketing side, because that is something to me. If what I'm thinking is what you're saying, just listening to you, no CRM can do, because no CRM has its own marketing capabilities. They rely on the partnership of other plugins, firms to feed data into what they have so that they can create a model. They themselves can't create a model. They're CRM. So finding your tribe. How long? Something that has happened or is happening to me right now, and in full transparency. I grew up very traditional. Areas very traditional, right? Very Cosby-like. I think is the best way to say it, right? It has taken me a long time to unlearn my tribe so that I can be with my true tribe in business. Maybe entrepreneurs don't have that struggle. I'm asking you, when you first started and you kind of look at it now, like who's still with you, the friends that say, hey, I'm gonna support you, to all that, like what part of your tribe has stayed consistent through now?
Honestly, man, our early adopters, man, they're still with us. There's very few that have dropped off, on the tech side, even on the marketing side. We like I said, we get, knee deep into their business, right? We get all the way into the machinery, right? We roll up the sleeves, the pant legs and everything. We get in. So, our goal is to make ourselves indispensable. Right. We want to be the technology partner, and, we're unique in the fact that we have two sides of the house. We have the technology side of the house where we have the actual platform, but then we also have the marketing side of the house where we take this amazing platform and we build things on it. So you say, hey, I want to run an ad campaign and I need to generate some new leads, or, hey, I want to sell this new thing or upsell my existing group of people this new thing that we just developed. Well, we say, all right, well, we're going to take, we'll build a funnel. We're going to do email marketing. We'll run some ads. We're going to do some retargeting, some text messaging, some blogging. We start coming up with solutions as to how we can do that. So yeah, we haven't lost a whole lot of people. We actually, our growth was slower because even as a marketing company, we didn't focus on doing a lot of marketing. We focused on, just providing really good service, getting really good at things. And then our referrals took off. And as a result, we now have a whole bunch of testimonials, and we use that to kind of soften the market when we're talking to a cold audience.
That is unique. That is the first time, I can't tell you, that might be the first time I've ever heard that type of proposition. And claim, and a lot of it is because, as a marketing firm. All right, so take like my firm or take like my organization, right? Meet with a marketing firm. First thing they say, hey, we worked with companies like yours. Yeah, okay, there's the emotional connection piece. We think we can get you at this dollar amount per month in revenue. Okay, that's the carrot. Now here's the rainbow. When X company started using us, they weren't in Walgreens, CVS. When they started using us, now they're a national retailer distribution channel. And so you start thinking like, all right, so if I want to scale my business, go to 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, this is the key. But what no marketing firm tells you is I don't, as much as I want you to make money, I want you to understand who really wants to buy your product so that we don't have to waste all our energy in trying to get the person that actually wants you to buy the product. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, I'd say this and it's kind of crude, but I mean, you're trying to sell, you don't want to waste your budget and your time trying to sell tampons to 60-year-old men.
Yeah.
That's not your market. They're not going to buy. I mean, there may be a random blue moon, right? Where he goes for his young wife, where she asks him to pick some up, but that's not your market, man. Like, you need to dial into the people that are dialed into you. And I don't think that most businesses truly know their customer. They don't have a predictable lead source. Most businesses don't even, the term lead source never comes up in conversation, right? And that's the reason why they have a hard time scaling. And a lot of marketing companies focus on the activity, not really the result, right? They're not strategic, and it sucks because you have a lot of companies that come in with the greatest hopes, and you know, they really bet, you know, the future of their company on these companies being able to produce for them, but they're just ill-informed. You know, you go to some company that claims that they're a marketer and they say, yeah, we do this organic social media thing, and you're like, oh, awesome, yes, that means it's going to be free, man. We're just going to create a whole bunch of reels and we're going to help them go viral, and you know, you're going to get millions of blah blah blah, and then you're going to da 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 da, and then, you know, it doesn't happen. Or another guy who's like, oh, I'm a marketer, I'm going to shoot these amazing videos, and that's what's going to be the thing that's really going to get people's attention. Or, hey, I'm a marketer, I'm going to do this SEO, and that's what's going to get all these people in, right? All of these things are possible, but they're unlikely because it you know, all of these things work and none of these things work. All
True.
of those things they're traffic sources.
Yep.
And entrepreneurs get caught up in the lingo and the smooth talk, and you know, them, you know, sprinkling all these buzzwords around, and it sounds great, but you need a comprehensive strategy, right? You need to do ads, and you need an organic, you know, social media presence, and you should be blogging, and you also need to be doing some email marketing and some text marketing. And, you know, all of these different things are marketing activities, but they're all just lead sources. And when you realize that, you start looking at, you know, what source is, you know, producing for me most often, most predictably, most consistently, and at the lowest cost. And when you start looking at it that way, you start saying, I need a solid lead source. Can you produce a solid lead source? And once you start thinking that way, and you start focusing on the numbers, the conversion rates, the quantity in what period of time, well, now you're asking the right questions and you're getting closer to actually finding success.
Genius. I want to hit up on that. I know we gotta go to break, but here's the challenge. And you're right. All of that is something and is nothing. The problem is because social media does not have rules, and it's technically, in a traditional sense or a classical sense, not a real marketplace. You can't quantify engagement. So it's like this. I think the best way to say it is like this. I want to find a wife. I'm gonna go to Tinder. What? You know, like where the reality is, people are working, people spend a lot of time traveling. You probably are more likely to meet somebody via online. However, your more traditional places, your churches, libraries, things that have worked in times past, created a likelihood of a lower divorce rate. How can two things be true? Is because this world was not designed for that. The problem is because it wasn't designed for that doesn't mean that revenue didn't generate, or that some similitude of engagement occurred. So it's like, even though it wasn't designed for that, somebody on TikTok can do 6 figures a month because this is the new wave.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about attribution, and it's like, how can I ensure that I'm attributing said activity on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or whatever to this sale? How do I dial in where the sale came from, right? And most marketers don't want to talk about that, right? You start asking them a whole lot of questions about, oh, you got me 10 sales. Hey man, congratulations. So where they come from? We did that ad campaign. So they came from the ad campaign? But yeah, I mean, you didn't have those many sales before we started. But I mean, you can prove that they came from the ad campaign. Basically, they start tap dancing and two-stepping, around being able to say for certain, hey, this came from that. Attribution is absolutely key. And again, these are the questions. Once you start asking these questions, you're in the right area because you're trying to pin down what your inputs are. And if you know what your inputs are, you definitely aren't going to get the output.
I like it. Look, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we get back, I want to talk about how come a true, you know what I would like to see? I would like to see LinkedIn and Instagram create a baby. That's what I need. Let's talk about the future of marketing when we come back. One and only Arias Webster Berry, after a quick word from our sponsor.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
Y'all, www.cmk&x. I'm actually going to take Superpower tonight when I hit leg day today after this podcast episode because it goes down. But I got with me Warrior Thirst. I just love the label on this thing, y'all. But you're only going to get it if you go to www.cmkglobal.store or purchase it right through the gram. CVMK Global. You would not be disappointed. All right. What I like about LinkedIn, there are no bots. I can't say that. Let me put a disclaimer just in case that's not technically true. It's not.
I can tell you it's not.
You're right. There are bots, but it's not incentivized because what I found out through all these marketing things, most people's followers, at least 30 to 40% are bots, but that's whatever. LinkedIn, there's really no moral. I don't know if moral is the word. There's no gain. Like if you connect with somebody on LinkedIn, I've never heard somebody say, man, Jeff Bezos has 1 million LinkedIn followers, because you don't go to LinkedIn to build that type of cachet. You go to LinkedIn because you're a professional or you have that cachet and you're an industry leader. That's the tone. Yeah. You take Meta or you take fan base. And let's use fan base. I'm gonna support the brother, man. I believe in his mission and everything. I think fan base. I'm on fan base. Y'all connect with me on fan base at CVMK. Okay. Because fan base is growing. It's growing. And they're raising money in this series A, I think. So take fan base, and it's back to the popularity thing, the cachet. Now, yes, it's more creator sensitive, so you actually get paid for likes and stuff and things that no other platform would give you. It's very, nominal, but over time that could equate to something. But you go there for this sense of gratification. If we could take that and have the value of a true business operation, and bam, we could call it LaBase or whatever we can call it whatever it needs to be called. But that's what's missing from e-commerce, is that no matter what platform, whether it's TikTok, Lemonade, Meta, you got to pay to play. and I have to be popular in order to be profitable. Is that fair?
I mean, that's the world we live in, right? I mean, the future leader of the free world is a reality TV star.
Yeah.
The governor of California was an action star, right? With
Yeah.
a bad accent. We live in a society where you don't really have to have substance, you just have to have attention. And that's not going anywhere. Since we decided to monetize our images socially and actual monetarily, right? That's just the wave of the future. And I don't see us really going away from that. It's just what you said earlier. You have to figure out a way to cut through to find your tribe and own that. You don't need to be the most, viral brand on the planet, but you do need to own your lane, right? You have to differentiate yourself and elbow your competition to make them give you some room, right? So that people can clearly see how you're different than the other. And if you can't do that, well, you're not going to garner enough attention, because there's 1,000 of you, 1,000,000 of you in any industry, right? There are very few industries where there isn't much competition. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where you have to dial in what it is that your tribe truly wants. And it's not, I think a lot of brands think that they're selling the thing, and it's the thing that they sell. I sell cell phone cases, right? You don't sell cell phone cases. You sell appeal, right? You sell safety, right? For you're protecting the investment, right? That's what you think that you sell, but actually you're selling who that individual is, right? Their cell phone case says a lot about them as an individual, right? Are you the rugged, I don't care what mine looks like, I'm all about utility? Or are you the chick with, blinged out, all gold, cubic zirconian, Swartzy crystal, it is a statement of who you are. But when you realize that, that's what you're selling. You're selling that attachment, right? Nike doesn't sell apparel, right? It sells performance, right? Sure. iPhone doesn't sell phones. It sells lifestyle, right? People buy iPhones to feel a part of that thing. Like, hey, I have an iPhone. I can afford it, right? I am that person. There are plenty of phones out in the market that are better than iPhones. Plenty, all over the world. But it's the mystique that comes with owning the iPhone, right? There are better cars than Mercedes, but it's the luxury that comes with it. A lot of people buy things because it identifies with who they see themselves as. And a lot of brands miss that when they are creating their marketing, when they're creating their messaging, when they're trying to reach out and tell people about their brand. They focus on the features, not the benefits. They focus on the thing that it's going to do rather than the way it's going to make you feel. And when you miss that critical piece, you're not elbowing your competition. You're falling right in line.
That's true. So and I appreciate you, man. I know we're coming down to the end. So as a firm owner, the CEO, been listening to you, and you have obviously business ethics and morals and values that you govern your organization with. But money talks, right? And somebody comes to you and says, Arias, man, I want to sell this honey bun. It's got 10,000 calories in it. It's guaranteed to just destroy your health. Mm-hmm. But I love it, man. And they pitch you this idea, and it's like, man, I don't know, you know, diabetes is impacted, you know, a lot of communities right now. You know, he's like, look, $1 million a month. Can you make it happen? I want to be the honey bun seller. What do you do, man?
I mean, it depends. Like if they were, say, targeting a specific community, like our community,
yeah,
and that's all they wanted to target,
yeah,
I probably can't help you with that, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Now, if you want to target everybody, okay, right? Because people gonna eat what they're gonna eat. But if you want me to help you destroy a specific community, I don't know about that, right? But you know, I personally believe that with something like that, there's some individual responsibility, but I also believe that at this point, it's a governmental thing. You know, I read a stat a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, that I think in the 1960s, 1970s, the FDA had only approved maybe, I think, 600 or 700 chemicals that could be used in food production here in the United States. Fast forward to, you know, 2010, 2020, there's something like 8, 9, 10,000 chemicals that have been approved for production in food. But when you go to, you know, China, when you go to, you know, various parts of Europe, you know, they still have 700 chemicals in ingredients that can be used. And, you know, I believe that, again, there's personal responsibility, right? You need to research what it is that you're consuming. However, you know, at this point, especially when it comes to regulatory agencies like the FDA, it's incumbent upon you. Your whole mandate is to protect the public. And when you are, you know, carte blanche approving things and just putting on the back, you know, could cause blah, 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 and the side effects are not da, 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 and you think that that's the burden of your responsibility, it's kind of like, eh. So on my side, I'm like, if you're coming to me, I mean, you may not be my favorite client, right? But I'm not going to say no as long as you're not doing anything unethical, right? If you're lying to people and telling people that your honey buns help you lose weight, well, I can't help you. But everybody under the sun knows if honey buns are bad for you, you probably shouldn't eat them because you're going to look like a honey bun. So if you look at a honey bun, you know it's bad for you, you want to eat that mug by anyway, hey, bro, you was going to do it whether we got involved or not. So, you know, I got to keep, I'm not going to turn down a $1 million bag a month and give it to the next man who, you know, definitely probably doesn't need it as much as I do. So, yeah.
You're going to target us. He gonna be right. They gonna put a gospel hymn to it and everything. Because them old McDonald's commercials, I'm like, this was ignorant.
Man, seriously, like, Lord, man.
Oh man, this has been amazing. Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. One more, I'm gonna let you get out of here, and then you tell the people they can connect with you, where they can go, you know, hit you up and support your business, and you know, get the CRM and the marketing and everything. Where's business going, man? We're heading into 2025. Obviously nobody can predict the future, right? But you know, I was listening to I don't know, was it the Young Turks? I was listening to Charlemagne, and you know, they were talking about, he's like, look, a lot of people, regardless of you like him or not, they voted for this man because of the economy, right? Where is business going?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yes.
You know, some say that it was the current inflation situation that we saw, you know, was something that was iceberg that was set adrift by Trump and his policy. You know, some say it was Biden and his unwillingness to act, and, you know, all these various things. You know, I'm a believer in the free market. I think that the market always self-corrects, and, you know, be it a company or country, if you are out of step with the market, you will cease to exist. And because, people know what they know. And if you try to charge $10 for a gallon of milk, people will say, I guess we ain't drinking milk no more. You can keep all the cows. We gonna find an alternative. So, I think at the end of the day, the market is going to do what it's going to do. And if you're a business owner, it's best for you to try to position yourself to win, no matter if it's going up or down. Right. I definitely believe that no matter if a Republican or a Democrat is in office, the debt is going to go up. They are going to spend some money. They're going to figure out how to raise some taxes. They either raising them for wealthy people, they're raising them for poor people. But at the end of the day, somebody's taxes are going up. Nobody is cutting taxes for everybody. So as much as, some people are angry because he won, some people are angry because, Biden, blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, man, focus on your bag, focus on what you can influence. If you didn't vote, I don't want to hear from you anyway, because, you could have helped either get him in office or get him out. At the end of the day, 4 years later, there's another opportunity. But I think business is going to do great, man. I personally, the U.S. is in a position where we are once again at the forefront of another revolution. AI is taking over. We are at the precipice of it. China is giving us a run for our money, but, with companies like OpenAI coming in and just demolishing everyone and everything that's anywhere close, there are a ton of opportunities for entrepreneurs. There's a ton of opportunities for everyday workers to learn this new technology, apply it, and get a bag from it.
Focus on your bag. That's the word of 2025 right there. Arias, man, this has been an absolute pleasure. Where can I connect with you, man?
A lot of places, a lot of companies, a lot of websites, but the one that's got everything that I do, my book, my training courses, my softwares, my agency, some free resources is ariaswebsterberry.com. Absolutely everything that I do, everything that I will do is there. You can also follow me on most social media platforms at Arias Web, ARIASW, E as in Echo, B as in Bravo.
Y'all connect with Arias, go to the website and connect with them on the social media at Arias Web. Hit them up, connect with them, say, look, I need help. I'm gonna connect you because I was like, hey, look, I need that market. We're gonna get this bag. I'm saying,
hey, man, look, that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. I was watching American Gangster over the Thanksgiving break. What did he tell him? He's like, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna get this money.
Hey, man, look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Nobody cares about your excuse about why you didn't get to the bag.
That's it.
And look,
That's it.
I know people all over the world, man, and there's no place that's easier to get a bag than this country. I promise you. So if you're not getting it, it's because you're not trying. Be honest. Like you're not trying. 10x what you're doing, right? You're sleeping too much. You're spending too much time on Netflix, cupcaking with whoever, your baby mama, your wife, your kids, your dog. Get back to work, man. It's out there. There's opportunity, money everywhere. If you got the balls or the ovaries to get up and go get it.
Well said. Well said. Hey, get up and get it. It's the year of the bag. I'm gonna name that. I know you can't say that in church because that'd be ignorant. Like, tell your neighbor it's the year of the bag.
It's the year of the bag. I'm getting a T-shirt. Year of the bag, right?
The bag.
It's like the year of the dog or the goat. It's the year of the bag.
I got a prophetic word. It's the year of the bag.
Indeed. Indeed.
Y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store, YouTube, CVMK, one word, 4 letters. It is real simple, y'all. Help us get our subscriber count up, y'all. I want to be at 50,000. I'm gonna say about this. By Dr. King Day, we got a month. By Dr. King Day, I want to be at 50,000 subscribers, which means we got about 30,000 to do. So I need y'all to help me get this bag. Y'all can get
subscribe now.
Subscribe now. Hit us
now.
Up. Connect with us on the social media, man. It's free. I tell people all the time, you don't even gotta like it. Just follow. It's free. CVMK Global. And until next time, guys. Thanks.